Welcome again to the Gaming News Roundup. As always, my name is Amata and I'm going to bring you all the latest news in gaming as of the 14th of June 2012. Now, as I'm sure most of you know, most game tie-ins and to do with films and vice versa are usually pretty terrible, with some exceptions of course. So I'm just wondering what's going to happen with this. Because Expendables was obviously an action film, I think this could maybe work a little better if they don't try to follow a linear story, because I feel like that's the trap that most video games that are based on films fall into. They are tied to follow the storyline of the film as much as possible and all this kind of stuff. But maybe because this is a more action orientated game that's basically going to have a narrative just as a framework as an excuse to have all their cool explosions and stuff, maybe it'll work a little better. And because it's Ubisoft and they're generally a pretty solid. There's some good news for those of you out there who enjoyed Playdead's game Limbo, because their next title seems to have been detailed by a Danish government website. And basically the working title at the moment is just Project 2. And basically the listing reveals that the game will tell the story of a boy struggling against evil forces trying to take over the world through questionable experience on human bodies. So, a very weird and slightly out there scenario, as you probably would expect from the guys who made Limbo. And also, the listing does also specify that the game will be in colour this time and will be available on all platforms, PS3, Xbox, PC and even Mac, which is fairly unusual, as I'm sure you will agree, and will apparently involve some unique puzzle and changing scenarios of a 2D style platforming on a 3D environment. So some very interesting stuff there. I actually really enjoyed Limbo. It's actually one of the few puzzle games I actually really liked. I'm generally quite bad at puzzle games, but Limbo just was really good, really well executed. The feel, atmosphere, everything just about it was perfect. Really enjoyed that game, so I'm pretty psyched to hear that they're working on something that sounds equally as weird, although the only sad face moment with this particular piece of news is that they basically revealed that this next project will probably take around 3 years. So yeah, we're not going to be seeing this anytime soon, but I have a feeling that when we do see it, it's going to be pretty awesome. Also, those of you who are interested in Tera, who aren't actually comfortable with making the jump just yet, may be interested to know that they are basically giving you a 7-day free trial of the game if you want to give it a little bit of a test before you purchase it. Now obviously there's no purchase of anything or required to get the free trial. All you need is to sign up for an account on their website, which is En Masse Entertainment obviously. Enter the code and start playing. Now there are obviously some restrictions in place for this particular trial, as you would expect. For example, chat and trading are not available, and you are only allowed 8 characters with a level cap of 23. So I find this very cool actually. I'm probably going to be having a look myself, to be honest, because I've not really made the jump into MMO territory just yet, but the more actiony combat that Tera is supposed to have does interest me, because that's the main thing that's put me off MMOs in the past. The fact that the combat just looks, well, fairly uninteresting, but from what I've seen of Tera, it looks fairly promising. So I myself am probably going to be taking advantage of this free trial. And if any of you are interested in a slightly different style of MMO, I'd say definitely check it out, because it's free and you don't have to stay on if you don't want to. But they seem fairly confident, judging from the article that I'm reading, that if you play, you will stay. And finally, we have some details for the God of War Ascension Collector's Edition for those of you who are just really, really hungry for this game and want to get that special shiny to make it even more awesome. Now basically, the price of this collector's edition is $79.99. That's dollars, of course, so I imagine about, I guess, around £60, maybe 50. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. Yeah, but basically, along with the game, of course, the bundle includes a Kratos statue, a steelbook game case, a soundtrack for the game, and what's most interesting is a pass for future DLC content. So yeah, What I find most interesting, as I already said, is the pass for the DLC. Is that all future DLC, or just the DLC that's going to come just after launch? It kind of, the way it's worded, does make it seem like it's basically most of the DLC, but unless there's some like huge pack that they kind of have to charge for or something, I imagine that it won't just give you all the DLC forever and ever for free, but maybe it will, I don't know. With the price they're asking, maybe they should. And for those of you that are wondering about the Kratos statue, it's apparently 8 inches, so not all that big, but you know, fairly reasonable. There's no picture of it as of yet, as far as I know. If I'm wrong on that, please feel free to send me a link and correct me, that's fine. So yeah, for those of you who are excited for God of War, you can get that special pack, and also there's a pre-order exclusive here, just generally. Basically you get a multiplayer pack, Mythological Heroes pack to be precise. You can don the armour of Achilles, Perseus, Orion and Odysseus, I guess how you pronounce it, I'm not really sure. So basically you get some special armour for the multiplayer if you pre-order it. So yes, and also it says, according to this, you will receive it on the 12th of March 2013 if you pre-order it, but is obviously already open for pre-order. So yeah, those of you who want those extra shinies or are kind of curious if the collector's edition will be worth your money, well, now you can decide. I think with the addition of the soundtrack and the DLC pass, it might just be worth it, but I personally probably won't be spending the extra cash, just because I'm generally not someone who goes for collector's editions or any of that, but that's just my personal choice. Anyway guys, that's all the interesting news for the moment. As always, I will of course keep you updated on any more updates. If you are interested, there's some new Persona 4 Arena screenshots that are also going to be uploaded on the channel, so keep an eye out. I will be uploading those very soon if you're interested in that game. But as always, feel free to leave me any comments on anything that has been discussed in this video. I always want to hear from you guys, and yeah, I'll just see you again soon.